Hello, I'm Major Anxiety, and welcome to episode 3 of Duras Anarti's epic journey to become a master trader and mercenary in Mountain Blade II-Bannerlord. In this episode, we're going to be focusing on trading, kind of show you some of the early game routes and trades that I like to do, and then from there, we're going to try to find a significant other. Someone to share the world of Cal Radio with in our lives. And more importantly, someone who has some really nice armor that we can take so that we're protected on the battlefield. We now have the 175 riding perk, Riding Horde, which reduces the herd penalty for transporting horses and livestock and those sorts of things. So we're able to take much larger groups of these beasts and try to sell them, and it doesn't impact our speed, our party speed, as much as it would had we not achieved that using the techniques in the earlier episodes. So we're carrying around 200 or so mules, pack animals at this juncture, and we've got some we have some desert horses that we purchased for less than 200 each, and I hope to sell those for at least 300. With the mules, I bought those fairly dirt cheap, like 25 to 50, and I like to buy them below 50, and I like to sell them until the price reaches 100. Using those price guidelines, that gives us a pretty substantial profit for each animal that we sell. Along the way, we're also looking for good prices on food and other items, primarily food, but maybe a few things like oil and wine. And if we see a really good price, we'll grab some of those and we'll start transporting some quantities of those as well. Those are a far less profit margin. You don't make as much on per unit item, but if you take large quantities of them, then you can really make some good gains in your trading skill levels. So essentially, we're taking horses from the Azurai area and bringing them over to the Dryatic kingdoms, where they have a dearth of horses, and they usually sell pretty well, particularly in the early game. Eventually the price kind of levels off, but for now we can make some really good cash right up front. This influx of cash will allow us to do some passive income, like buying workshops, depending on our clan tier level, maybe starting a caravan or two. Each of those, basically, it's almost set it and forget it. You set them on their way and they make money, hopefully. Our party size is about 35 right now, including Duras. It's about the right size to carry a good number of horses. We're not going to go much larger than that right now. It gives us ample protection against unprovoked attack by bandits and looters and those sorts of annoyances, but we can attack them when we want to. So having said that, there's a lot of tedious work to be done when you're leveling up trading. I'm not going to show you every trade that we're going to do. I'll just show you a few representative ones, some areas that I like to go, places I like to take horses, places I like to take other things. We'll just do a small representative sample in this episode, and then we'll move on to finding a spouse, maybe a companion or two, and then we'll set ourselves up to start our smithing profession after that. All right, so we're traveling through the Dryatic towns, shifting a little bit of this from here to there. Not a very good price on mules, so I won't be selling any of those. I won't be selling anything, actually. But they've got really nice, cheap prices on a lot of goods and food, so I like to try to carry about 100 of each food type at this point in the game. It gives me enough to sell, but it also gives me enough to keep in my own inventory so that, I can keep my troops' morale up and gain some points in Steward. So I'm going to swing around to Provend and then I'll probably head back, depending on what I can sell here. The oil will sell. Nice. Sell some of the olives. Keep the butter for now. Go buy some more fish. So they have a little over 100 of that. All right. Look at the wine is 14. Let's go check Oxhall while we're here, and then we'll head back and pick up some more Azurai horses or desert horses. Yeah, nothing worth selling there. Now, I did notice, hang on, hardwood was 7 here. So I may buy some hardwood. So I remember that was very expensive. Over in the desert. So we'll go to Sargo and we'll hit these cities and we'll just continue this path back and forth, working on trade. We're up to 125, I think, now. Somewhere in that realm. This is crazy price. Look at that. There we go. Nice price on cheese. Olives. Hardwood at 26. Two more skill points. Azurai and the sake have gone to war. Which is funny because I have both types of troops in my party. I decided to add some Azurai melee cavalry in my group. To go with my sake archers. Buy some fish here. So my party at 35 is probably more than I need. I did buy a workshop in Ep03, and that's kind of paying the wages of this group. I bought an iron smithy. There we go, desert horses for 245. I'll buy all those. I'll get some more mules. We'll hit Wadar. Now the Ep03 is in the Northern Imperium faction area. One day we may be at war with them, and I'll lose that money. But for now, I'm really just trying to make a little bit of money in a country that I'm not going to be at war with in the immediate future. That's kind of the goal there. So the desert horses are really cheap here. I'm going to go ahead and add. Oh, the hell with it, I'll buy all of them. And I'll go up to 200 mules. So with my party of about 35, I've got 250 plus pack animals and horses, and I'm still moving along at a pretty good clip here, so that riding horde perk really, really helps prevent you from crawling around. And I'm gonna try Artesia again, since they were such good customers before. And I may head up to Ep03 just to see. It's kind of a central hub, and plus that's where my ironmonger is. We'll get rid of some horses here. Again, I bought them around 200-ish. And I'm selling them at 300 or more. Almost 14K on that transaction. It's a tidy profit. So I just got 2 more skill points in trade. I'm up to 151. Workshop productions increased by 25%. Mercenary troops' wages are decreased by 25%. I don't use a lot of mercenary troops. And I don't have any towns. I probably won't have a town, at least for a long while. So this is probably going to be a good pick for me, because I will buy workshops. Good price on a few desert horses. Let's unload a few here. And we'll sell a couple of mules too. That's a ridiculous price for fish, so let's get rid of some of them. Good price on grapes, but nothing else is very exciting, so part of it is the challenge is trying to get hold of the economy in this new release. Because every time they change things a little bit. And then this mod and map have different layout because I'm not on the Calradia expanded map any longer. So there's blank spaces where there are castles on that map. Excellent. We can sell some mules here. Get rid of the rest of our horses. That wine is ridiculously good price. Well, not ridiculous, but good enough. And let's see, that's a really cheap butter price, so let's take a good amount of that. And usually when there's cheap butter, there's cheap cheese, so let's stock up on that. And let's take all this hardwood because it's one of the lowest prices I've seen so far. So this is one of the routes I kind of like to take, bring in horses and trade goods. We're going to head back to the Azeride territory and restock on horses and mules. I'm going to try to sell them the same type of the Dryatic kingdoms. If the prices aren't good there, we'll pop up on the hill there and try to sell some to the Botani. And, then we may need to alternate over into more of the Imperium cities if prices get a little wonky over here. Fast forwarding to this spot, we've done a few more horse trade runs and good runs over to the desert. So let me give you a little snapshot of Duras and his skill status at this point. So we've hit 222 in riding. My bow skill is really working nicely now. So, I need to put another point in control. I think there's a point here that I want to get. Yeah, I want to get up to deep quivers, which is the 225 skill level. Might even want to go to 300 on this, but or certainly 250. Aiming is 25% faster is a pretty nice skill to have. We've not done any smithing per se now, so that'll be an upcoming focus. We want to get up to 225. At smithing 150, we can either update control, which is our bow skill, or vigor, which are all of our melee weapon skills by 1. So that's an attribute point gain there. And at this point, I'm not sure which I'm going to put it in, vigor or control, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. Athletics, definitely we want to do some work in this area. We'll do some tournaments, and smithing basically is the next phase of what we're going to do. I'm probably going to take a little bit of a break. My trade is up pretty well now, but we're making some progress on steward. I have added Blagissa of the Hills, so I now have a scout companion that I picked up. Really good scouting skill. I gave him a crossbow. He's got good one-handed skill. He's going to run around. He doesn't have much skill in anything else. He's purely a scout. He'll help me with the smithing, but he's level 13. I'm level 18 already. And the next thing I want to do is to find a wife. So I want to have a wife in my party. And let's just take a look here. This is kind of the one I've picked out to try. Adelindis, a noble of the Dryatics, which is my own faction. She's a member of the Sensi, a noble family of the Valandians, or the Dryatics. The mod doesn't have all of the text corrected in there. She has a reputation of being kind. And I have a little bit of a positive relationship with her. She's a year older than I. At this point, Duras is 23. They're not a wealthy clan by any stretch of the imagination, but let's give it a try, shall we? So I'll send her a message. I'm texting her a proposal. Okay. And this is where that diplomacy mod really helps. I am Duras, madam. May I ask your name? So she has heard of me. I have done a few tournaments and hit a few things. Something I'd like to discuss. My lady, I wish to profess myself your most ardent admirer. Oh, don't play coy with me, Adelindis. All right, I don't know where she was. I'm going to do the same thing with the messenger. Ostacan. So she's probably in the Lord's Hall up in Ostacan. I could head over that way, but I don't know where her father is. If this all works out. Adelindis. I'm so glad we've had a chance to spend some time together. Oh my. They say you've traveled wild. Yes, I have. What can I say? It's a beautiful world, but filled with so much suffering. Between your followers, your rivals, and your enemies, you must have met a lot of interesting people. I'm just honored to have fought alongside Karma. I haven't really. I've been fighting solo the whole time. Oh, she didn't like that one. Some people say you'll go far. Oh. You're missing out, Adelindis. I'm a catch. Duras is a catch. All right. So, back to the drawing board. Let's see if we can't find another one here. Hello, Lena. She's been fighting a lot. She has some pretty cool armor. She's foul-tempered. No, that's not. We don't want that. Conventional. No, we don't like conventional. Well, she's got good trade, charm, and good steward. Her face looks like it was hit by a shovel, but, you know. Sometimes in love you have to overlook those things. Elise. Elise, my love. Shovel face. I'd like to profess myself your most ardent admirer. Of course, I just did with someone else, but... Oh, my. Well, Elise. Let's do that again, shall we? It's costing me a lot of money, finding a wife. It's at least a couple of horses traded. Hello, Elise. They say you've traveled widely. Yes, and I've traveled wildly, too. All right. Ball one. Between your followers, your rivals, and enemies, you must have met a lot of interesting people. Oh, I just blew some smoke up her chimney. Some people say you'll go far. I'll make sure that they who stuck their necks out for me get their due. Well, that's not a bad start. Okay. She hasn't shot me down. Hopefully she comes with a noble short bow. That's kind of really what I'm looking for in a wife, is a noble short bow. Let's see what we got here. The food's doing all right. Yes, I've earned enough. I mean, I've got 135,000. I have 2 workshops up and running. We're clan tier 2 at the moment, so I can become a mercenary at any time. I have a brewery in Ep03 and a tannery in Provend, both of which are not doing well at all. So I'm going to look at trying to turn them into something better. I need to do a little more research to find out. Provend is right there. And it looked like it had Ruland, Larnac, and Passalant. So Larnac is grain. Ruland is hogs. Passalant is grapes. So I could try and change that over to a vineyard. Maybe. I got anything is better there. I had a tannery. That's not working. Probably a wine press. All right, let's talk to my beloved yet again. All right, Elise. I insist my husband conduct himself according to the highest standards. Of course you do. I'm a man of my word. I have plans and I expect the person I marry to have the income to support them. Oh man, she's high maintenance. I shall win you the riches you deserve or die in the attempt. What am I getting myself into here? I think you should try and win my family's approval. You would be honored to accept my proposal. Well, thank you. Decebalus. All right, let's find Decebalus. Let's find out who Decebalus is. He's the king of the Dryatics. Really? Mind if I marry your daughter, do you? I am Duras, Lord of Sargo and Galland. $7,000. Wow. She's a pricey one. All right. Elise and Duras are now married. So where do I find her? Right, we've arrived at Tabalil Castle to pick up our bride. All right, let's see if she's got gear. She does. Sadly, it doesn't appear she has a noble bow. Rather, she's got javelins. But that armor will certainly make it worth it. She has a Battanian thoroughbred and scale barding, which is some really nice horse armor that I'm going to steal. Let's do a little shopping over at Sargo. So let's change body armor and helmets, my dear. I kind of like the look of the custom Dryatic armor available in this mod. The helmet's a little wonky, but distinct. I'll take the Battanian thoroughbred with the scale barding as my own horse. Elise is going to walk. And with that, we'll bring this episode to a close. Join us next time for the smithing portion of the development of Duras Anarti. And as always, thanks for watching, and join us next time.